How you doing with your finances? You doing okay? Surviving? You're going in debt? So funny. I think I have a little more chicken. What are you looking for? Put it back down somewhere. I forgot this thing was on. Picked it up already. Thank you. All right. Gotta make sure everything is functioning. Seems like it's fine. This could fail at any moment. Things been crashing on me again. Better just jump in. KPPA, KMDS. That moves fairly straight. Get a little bit of a bump right across the straight line straight there. So I could just do the same heading. Fairly close. Freezing over. That's nice. Been crashing this thing. by half the time I try to land it. What I'm realizing is I don't have to really come down as early as I do in some planes. I can come down from pretty high up, make a fairly quick descent.
Whoa,
Whoa,
I can hear
I
the
hear the
TV.
TV.
Oh,
Oh, this thing. When did that happen? Where? Alan was playing with this thing today, huh? He moves everything over here. I'm upon na lang uma. I can see the way it's set up. Quanto money? Mata ko ma? Manauni. Why is that close to you? Otherwise. No, it's not a black hole, that's a planet. You like space. That's why I'm put my light. Okay, close the guard, so that's cool. That means. Huh. Volume. Uh, it's up this one. Turn it down a little bit. I don't want to wear the headset. I might have to. Let's see if that makes it louder at least with the more gain. Of course. Huh? Hello. Egg. Nobody come. Never seen a bus.
Let's make sure you have everything you need for departure. While
Yeah.
Lisa does a
Let's
fine
get
job.
dinged here because the plane is big.
Is Mr. Mark Meyer, 61 years
And
old. Had a major
because it's big, it
okay.
says you've entered the taxiway.
Mark's brother.
Crappy glitch. It means I can never get an S rank in these missions if I use this. Poor coding. Anyway, set this up. I wonder if we'll do 29 or 44 in this one. I'm gonna touch navigation. I'm gonna do half bang. It's the first heading. $13 for 29 miles. Guess I have to use that. I'll worry about autopilot later. We're not gonna use VNAV. Oh, that again. And this. Got it. Okay. actually gonna get rid of that so I can see the full thing. Out, we're turning left and left again, and this will be the 13.
Can hear myself.
What is that? Oh, I never start this perfectly, unfortunately. But we'll start it anyway. Right. Mouse pass. Power. Everything okay? Who's at the door? I wish I got a black one. I have to clean this thing. Here, a tower. Oh,
Kilo Papa Papa Alpha Traffic. Latest Hotel Bravo Victor Romeo uniform. Taking off runway 23. North departure. Kilo Papa Papa Alpha.
ah. Okay. Double check some stuff. Looks like this thing is too far that way. This thing takes much longer to take off than regular planes. I've actually had trouble getting it off the ground. It's like a whole thing. Alright, let's go. My map's ready. Right? Seven, 80, rotate. Okay.
Amarillo approach. Pilatus Hotel Bravo Victor Romeo Uniform is type Pilatus PC-24, 2 miles west of Kilo Papa Papa Alpha, 4200. Request flight following.
Pilatus Hotel Bravo Victor Romeo
Much. We
Uniform.
gotta make sure we
Amarillo.
don't injure the passenger.
Squawk 7071.
Might take us
Pilatus
longer.
Victor Romeo Uniform.
Pilatus Victor Romeo Uniform. Radar contact 3 miles southwest of Kilo Papa Papa Alpha, 5000. Altimeter 29902.
Roger. Pilatus Victor Romeo Uniform.
Victor Romeo Uniform. Contact Albuquerque Center. 2 Good day.
127.85 for Pilatus Victor Romeo Uniform.
Too much to worry about all at the same time.
Victor Romeo Uniform. 7300.
Pilatus Hotel Bravo Victor Romeo Uniform. Albuquerque Center. Altimeter 29902. Radar contact. Continue.
Albuquerque Center. Pilatus Hotel Bravo Victor Romeo Uniform. 5 miles southwest of Kilo X-Ray Sierra Zero Whiskey.
The rolling
7600.
is rough on the patient. Can you do something, Captain?
Ready to copy.
Not even like
Pilatus Hotel
far
Bravo
down.
Victor Romeo Uniform is cleared to Kilo Mike Delta Sierra Airport as filed. Squawk 7071.
Pilatus Hotel Bravo Victor Romeo Uniform. Cleared to Kilo
You have to get turned around, one way or the other. I don't want to spend
707.
several miles doing it.
Pilatus Victor Romeo Uniform. Read back correct. Radar contact 7500. Altimeter 29902. Turn left heading 050. Resume own navigation. Climb and maintain 11,000.
Turn left heading 050.
11,000,
Proceed
that's
on
it.
course. Climb and maintain 11,000. Pilatus Victor Romeo Uniform.
Alright, here we go. It's kind of straight. Now, you can use both hands. Auto throttle, please. And is it MP? Good. Doing this at 11,000 feet? That's very interesting. Should be slowing down.
Cruising. Doctor, you okay?
Received. Thanks for keeping the lights lit.
Auto throttle should be keeping us.
Lisa, please run some tests.
I'm just barely catching it. Every time, man. Auto throttle hasn't done that before.
Doctor, you should see that.
You're right, Lisa. We don't have the resources to manage this. Follow the return protocol. Captain, we have life
Pam Pam?
patients back here. Mark needs urgent care now.
Oh,
We
Pam
need
Pam.
you, please. You're not responsible for that, but I need you to stay focused and get us at the route destination ASAP.
You wanna give me a new route? Looks like it's done it yet. Is it not Pam Pam? Can't believe we're flying at 11,000 feet right now. It's so bumpy up here.
Albuquerque Center. Pilatus Victor Romeo uniform. Request 15,000.
Latest Victor Romeo uniform. Climb and maintain 15,000.
Okay.
Climb and maintain 15,000. Pilatus Victor Romeo uniform.
Okay. Alright. My guy's freaking out. It's so weird. Sounds pretty instant. That's good. I may have nailed that down. It might just be early in the stream. Who knows? But I'm not hearing myself like at all. Volume seems to be working. That's fine. Okay. Whoa! Have you reached it yet? We're at 14,000. I want to get out of this funky weather. It's like it's not Pan Pan. It sounded like we were getting Pan Pan. Sounds like we're gonna end up doing the full flight. Let's ask for more height.
Albuquerque Center.
Latest Victor Romeo uniform. Climb and maintain flight level 190.
Thank you.
Climb and maintain flight level 190.
Go to
Latest Victor
19,000.
Romeo uniform.
Ah, this funky weather. God, this bumpy ass weather, bro. I'm gonna get a co-pilot in this one. I don't think I've been to the back yet.
Latest Victor Romeo uniform. Contact Kansas City Center on 126.905. Good day.
126.905. Latest Victor Romeo uniform.
We hold
Kansas City Center.
2 or
Latest
3
Hotel
places.
Bravo Victor Romeo uniform is passing 17,000 climbing flight level 190. The latest Hotel Bravo Victor Romeo uniform. Kansas City Center. Altimeter 2982. Radar contact. Continue to hear us.
What's that? Fence? Medical device. Same thing here. They've got multiple. Yeah, it's meant for multiple people, not just one patient.
The latest Victor Romeo uniform. You are 800 above your assigned altitude. Descend and maintain
Whoa.
flight level 190.
Whoa, what's going on? Why are we at 20,000? Did I mess up?
Descend and maintain flight level 190. The latest Victor Romeo uniform.
Messed up. I'm at 1,000. Supposed to go. $19,000 seems fairly unbumpy. I think we'll stay here. Do about 235 knots. Is what I have to say. Great. That'll get us there pretty quickly. I think it's stable. Let's learn about the plane. I don't like is how little of the ground you can see in this thing. Maybe I can sit further back. I'm gonna open the window. Alright, let's find. That. Okay.
We're here at Pilatus Aircraft's U.S. headquarters in Broomfield, Colorado, to fly the super versatile PC-24 light jet. I've flown a lot of different kinds of aircraft, including many business jets, but this is the first time I'll be flying Pilatus's PC-24. I'm excited to see what it can do. Pilatus PC-24 is a unique airplane, and its features, amenities, and performance have made it a top seller in the light jet market. In 2023, Pilatus Aircraft announced major upgrades to the PC-24, including structural changes that resulted in a 600-pound payload increase to 3,100 pounds and range with 6 passengers growing to 2,000 nautical miles. Some of these include modifying wing spars and ribs, changing how the nose landing gear is machined, and switching the spoilers to carbon fiber from aluminum. Deliveries of the upgraded aircraft began in 2024. With a massive cargo door, 501 cubic foot cabin, and its ability to take off and land on unpaved runways, the PC-24 has sold more than 500 copies since entering service in 2017. To make it
500?
able to land on unpaved runways,
That's it?
Pilatus engineers made the double-slotted Fowler flaps act like mudguards to protect the engines from stray debris, and they fitted the nose gear with a removable fairing to protect the underbody from gravel damage. To experience the new features in the latest version of the PC-24, I jumped at the opportunity to go flying with Pilatus Business Aircraft Chief Pilot Gerard Lamb. With 5 people aboard and 3,220 pounds of fuel, we planned a flight from Rocky Mountain Metro to Telluride, a challenging mountainous airport in the Colorado Rockies. Our takeoff weight was 16,136 pounds, 2,604 pounds below maximum takeoff weight. After starting the right engine, Lamb showed me the quiet power mode, which runs the engine at 75% of idle speed and essentially operates in place of an auxiliary power unit to cooler heat the cabin and power some of the systems. Our rotation speed was just 97 knots with flaps set to 8 degrees. For the first takeoff, Lamb took the controls. After lining up on runway 30 left, he moved the power levers forward until the auto throttles engaged.
Wow, that
Each
always looks
engine
so much
delivers
more snug.
3,420 pounds of thrust at
Don't
maximum
they?
continuous power, but they are capable of 3,600 pounds in automatic power reserve mode, which is only for emergencies. Pilots need to be careful not to push the throttles too far and get into that mode because it adds extra engine cycles and should only be used when absolutely necessary. Lamb showed me how it's necessary to give the yoke a strong pull at rotation speed, and the PC-24 lifted off promptly. After retracting the landing gear and flaps
and with the auto throttles on, we followed the flight director's guidance and turned to the north while climbing to avoid terrain to the west. After briefly leveling off at 8,000 feet, we continued climbing, eventually leveling off at the PC-24's maximum altitude of flight level 450, where the cabin altitude was 8,000 feet.
Yeah, 450, 45,000.
It didn't take me long to get used to the Honeywell Advanced Cockpit Environment flight deck. For pilots who grew up on Garmin avionics, the Honeywell system takes a little getting used to, but it is a fully capable, powerful, integrated avionics suite. There are a lot of buttons in this cockpit because
it's very weird switching from the Garmin. I'm not gonna lie, man.
However,
I'm still really
there is a
uncomfortable with this thing.
touchscreen controller below the lower multifunction display, and here pilots can select active displays, tune radios, and set transponder codes, access data link communications, swap multifunction displays, and record events. It also acts as a pop-up keyboard for data entry and as a cursor control device as an alternative to the physical control. Level at flight level 450, I kept the power set to max continuous, and the PC-24 accelerated toward the Mach 0.73 MMO barber pole on the airspeed tape. At the speed limit, the auto speed protection system kicked on and instructed the auto throttles to reduce power to prevent overspeeding. Auto speed protection will also help prevent low speed problems by adding power, and it works whether or not the auto throttles are
People have been talking to me. Canadian 66 geek
left
and
right steep turns, and the PC-24 pirouetted smooth.
I apologize.
Zero buffet at that high altitude. Lamb showed me the PC-24's bank limit.
I'm watching chat now if you're still around.
Which adds
I
a
doubt it,
tactile
but
feedback force to lateral control when the bank angle approaches or exceeds 51 degrees at low roll rates or 49 degrees at high rates of roll, pushing the angle back to 31 degrees before deactivating. The tactile feedback can be overridden using the touch control steering button on the yoke. At ISA +5 and with auto throttles and autopilot on, the PC-24 settled at Mach 0.719 and a true airspeed of 460 knots, earning a total of 924 pounds per hour. Descending toward Telluride, we set up the RNAV Y approach to runway 09. The moving map and vertical situation display clearly depicted the high terrain around the airport as we crossed the cone's VOR at 13,000 feet, then followed the 3.69-degree glide path from the final approach fix. The synthetic vision showed the runway centerline extending from the runway outline well before we could see the runway perched on a mesa visually, and the auto throttles smoothly followed the speed schedule down to 135 knots as we crossed the final approach fix to 105 knots on the glide path, then to the 94-knot VREF as we neared the runway. Lamb switched off the autopilot but kept the auto throttles on until short final.
this thing is flying itself.
Eased the power off shortly before the PC-24 floated over the numbers.
50, 40, 30, 20.
Not even touching it.
For a smooth touchdown.